Ryan Jones.
Well, starting it off with that time lapse of today, looked like a pretty great Sunday. A little bit of that cloud cover working through, but more and more of it leaving the area as we got towards that sunset. Seeing just a few of those upper level cirrus clouds trying to push in, but overall going to be seeing those clear conditions tonight, making for a pretty chilly night with plenty of radiational cooling going on. Currently at the 10 p.m. hour, down to 48 degrees here in town. Same for Robert Lee. Sterling City at 46, tied with Ballinger there, and then the cool spot's going to be 45 degrees. It looks like right now for Brady through El Dorado. I-10 coming around in those mid 40s as well for us. And when we're looking at those maximum winds from today, it was pretty breezy earlier. We saw that just earlier that they're down to 3 miles an hour now, but look at this, had a gust up to 29 miles an hour here in town. Same for Eden Junction, getting up to 31 miles an hour. So all of us feeling the breezy conditions as we went through today. It was pretty chilly to start off this morning, definitely, if you were stepping outside, but those have luckily come down, especially with this upper level trough working its way off towards the east now. And next, our eyes are going to be on the west coast for this building ridge of high pressure. You see this one going to slide off to the east, missing the Concho Valley, but we're going to be dealing with this ridge of high pressure that I was talking about. You can see it really building in for the western half of the country here. Going to be plenty of those warmer temperatures, looking like above average as we go into the work week, but luckily not too bad. Only a couple of those 90 degrees on the board right now. For the radar, currently we're seeing those storms moving off towards the east. Some good storms going through. It looks like Alabama, maybe even a tornado warning right there now still. But across the Lone Star State, sitting with mostly clear skies. Some of the cloud cover across the piney woods of East Texas and also towards the Rio Grande Valley. But here in the Concho Valley, like I was saying, wall-to-wall sunshine is what we were seeing as we went into the throughout the day and then into the overnight hours now. And with this clear skies, we're going to be seeing some pretty good cooling going into tonight and not looking at any rain, unfortunately, on the futurecast right now. Here's a look at the next couple of days. You can see tonight just dealing with those clear skies starting off tomorrow once again. Maybe a stray cloud here or there. This one wants to put one over in Crockett County, but we'll see if any clouds do develop going into tomorrow. Definitely going to be warming up, definitely pretty good compared to what we saw today. Getting towards those 70s as opposed to those upper 50s is where we topped out for our Sunday. Going towards Tuesday, more of the clear skies and the warm-up going to continue as we go through Tuesday, pushing those 80s, pushing even the 90s by the time we're going into that Wednesday time frame. So for tonight, very chilly. We do have a freeze warning in effect. I don't know that we'll quite get down to freezing, but definitely could with the clear skies overhead. I'm forecasting 33 degrees over at Mathis Field, but all of us except Crockett County in dealing with that freeze warning. They have frost advisory, so all of us going to be feeling the chilly conditions. Winds only out of the north about 5 to 10 miles an hour tomorrow. Looking like a pretty great start to the work week. Look at this, 73 degrees. We topped out at that 57 degree mark today. So going to be much warmer. Winds turning out of the southwest about 5 to 10 miles an hour as we start to see some more of those warmer conditions working into the area. Of course, working through your morning, going to be a pretty chilly start, so let's take a look at the breakfast forecast. Going to get that forecast for you. 7 a.m., about 35 degrees is what I'm looking at, but quickly warming up. 9 a.m., 42, 11 a.m., 58, and like I said, going to be pushing those 70s by the time we're working into the afternoon hours, so like a pretty good start to the work weekend. The second week of April looking much more spring-like compared to what we saw this weekend. So as we work through the week, 83 there by Tuesday, 91 is right now what I have on the board for Wednesday, and then we're going to cool off once again for the second weekend of rodeo. It looks like starting 84 there by Thursday, 81 for Friday, 86 by that Saturday time frame before the 90s make their return into Sunday, 92. Overnight lows following that same trend, settling around that 50 degree mark. That's going to be all for your 7-day forecast, but stick around for more.